Hey everyone, welcome to the Vince&Al Podcast. I'm Vince.
And I'm Al.
Welcome to episode 3. Can you
Episode
believe
3,
it?
wow.
We just wanted to say thanks for tuning in. This is the third episode, but it's still the beginning of our journey to this channel. We're putting out the content really just for Al and I to talk, but at the same time, if we can get a couple listeners in, then we hope to entertain you. So, would you like to explain the dice for those that didn't watch episode 2?
Yes, so what we do is we try to find the best way to make our podcast entertaining, as well as, reach out and find topics that, interest our viewers as well. And our way of doing that is we have the 6-topic system. Vince, would you like to
Yeah,
tell us
so
the
we
six?
have movies, pop culture, sneakers, wild card, world news, and sports. All of which we love to talk about. Maybe I like to talk about movies more than Al does, but Al likes to talk about sports more than I do. So, but at the same time, we want to hit stuff like pop culture and world news, stuff that uh, is worth bringing up without getting political or anything like that. Al, would you like to roll the dice first?
I would. This episode of our podcast, it's my turn as I picked 6 things, or one thing for each category to talk about. And here we go. Let's see what I get to talk about first. All right, we got right back to movies.
Round 2.
Vince's favorite thing to talk about.
Right.
My thing is I got this from it's called a website called Den of the Geek.
Okay.
Sure.
I've never heard of it. I'll check it out.
This is from August 9th. I think we touched base on in the last episode. We touched base on how superhero movies are the new thing. How so Westerners were things like that.
Absolutely.
So there are a couple comics. They just came out this report where there are a couple comics that are going to become movies.
Right on.
DC's going with the Justice League, to go with Marvel's Avengers.
Yes.
I'm more of a Marvel kind of guy.
Same here. You know what? I love the Dark Knight trilogy to pieces,
I love that.
and Man of Steel. I think Dark Knight. Not Dark Knight. I think DC is winning with their scores. Their musical scores are out of this world, but I think as far as character development and everything Marvel has going for its connectivity, they're on top right now.
They are on top. So Justice League is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, Black Panther
Yep.
is coming out. That's just one. And then the big one, Avengers Infinity War.
Yes.
I'm not big on movies, but I know that's going to be a big one.
All right. So if you want to talk about Avengers Infinity War, that's one of the things I really wanted to talk about. San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
It's not only is it a comic book convention with cosplay, merchandise, all that. It's a solid source for movie news. It really is. There's trailers for Game of Thrones, trailers for all different types of movies, comic book genre or not. I think last year they had the King Kong Skull Island trailer, and they also had the Alien Covenant trailer, so it covers everything. However, the thing everybody took away from it, they had an Avengers Infinity War trailer.
Oh, wow.
What's really crazy about this is it was pirated online. I did see it, right? And don't know if I should have done that or not, but to me it was worth it.
Did it look good?
Quality was all right, but as far as camera quality that guy took, he was shaking it like crazy because there were so many, yeahs and woos in the background because the movie looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with a villain named Thanos.
That's the big man.
That's the big boy, big pops.
Dude.
Yeah, big purple man. So for those of you who don't know, Thanos, they've been setting him up ever since Avengers 1 in those post-credits. He has a weapon called the Infinity Gauntlet. Pretty much he needs 5 things called the Infinity Stones to activate it. They've had these stones scattered throughout all movies, whether it's Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, To the Dark World, all that stuff. And when he gets all those, he can activate this weapon to pretty much destroy planets in a grasp. It's a very interesting concept, and in that trailer they have Thanos, and he's fighting Iron Man. He's fighting Star-Lord, and he's fighting Spider-Man.
That's scary.
All in one scene.
Wow.
You gotta wonder, it's like, are people gonna make it out of this alive? I don't think so. And I don't want to think dark like that. But here's the thing, though. Avengers Infinity War is in 2 parts. Part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
So that trailer that I saw, that's all
part 2.
That's all part 1.
It's all part 1. Okay.
So this is my question to you. I'm gonna throw this back at you now. What is part 2 what can part 2 possibly be? Maybe in part 1 a main Avenger dies. Maybe Cap. Maybe Iron Man. I know I don't even want to say that. But then maybe that unites the team to come even stronger to fight Thanos in part 2? Or is there something else in part 2, like even a bigger threat? Or is there a plot twist?
Is there, I'm not,
You're fine.
I don't have that much knowledge on
You're fine.
Marvel. Actually, 2 questions. Is there a superhero,
Yep.
man or woman, that hasn't been touched base on, you know what I'm saying? Or hasn't had his own movie, or hasn't even been mentioned, that possibly could make a
appearance.
appearance?
Yeah, so actually that's a really fair point. This is the most minute of spoiler for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. They tease a cocoon, and in that cocoon, it's the species is called the Sovereign. It is a gold skinned species, and there's a superhero from the comics named Adam Warlock. Kind of a cheesy name, but he pretty much has any powers you name it. He's almost like Superman, but in Marvel.
Oh.
And he was the only one that could lift the Infinity Gauntlet, and that's Thanos' weapon, and use it for himself. They teased that cocoon in one of Marvel's post-credit scene in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
All right, well then.
What if that could be your ticket?
And my other question is,
Yes.
okay, so Thanos is the main guy.
Yes.
What happens after Avengers Infinity War? Is this awesome run by Marvel? A great run. I've loved seeing the majority of the movies, and I'd love to go back and just see them all like put together and how they connect.
Absolutely.
Is this the end of that era, I would say, of Marvel after Avengers Infinity War?
Yeah. So I'll kind of answer your first question. I think like you asked about like what if Thanos is in the first one, then who's in the second one? Well, Marvel has done a great job of keeping a lot of their villains alive. We're talking Loki, Red Skull. I'm trying to.
Just a huge war.
Point is there Red Hulk. There's a lot of people still alive. It makes you wonder. It's like, would all those guys come back, and maybe Thanos is still alive and he's leading them? Is that the twist? Or I know we're kind of running a little late on time, but one other thing that's really interesting. In Marvel's universe, there's a species called the Skrulls. All you need to know about them is they're shapeshifters.
Okay.
They were during that San Diego Comic-Con panel for Infinity War. They have another movie coming out called Captain Marvel. In that movie, which is set in the 90s, that movie comes out in between Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. So it's strategically placed in between both those movies. And the villain are the Skrulls. It's hundreds of these creatures all in one species that can shapeshift. What if one of them survived, and maybe that Skrull shapeshifted into, let's just say, Captain America? And maybe that's the twist, that Captain America turns around and, I don't know, maybe kills one of the Avengers.
What is this thing with Captain America being a Nazi? I've heard about that. What is that? What is that?
So Hydra is Marvel's version of Nazis, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the Nazis' weapon division, and science division. And it's pretty much, to be honest with you, it's kind of clickbait because he was under brainwash. But they rebooted the Captain America comics like they often do, and they started out with him being Hydra, but he was just brainwashed.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's so anticlimactic. I thought it would be more than that, so kind of disappointing. But they could play strings like that and say he was a Skrull.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that'll cap the movie part off.
Yeah, that's a
that was
heavy
hefty.
topic, yeah.
Yeah, so
Let's
we
see
can.
if we see what's next. I really wanted to be sports, but we'll see what
I'm
happens.
kind of feeling sneakers right now.
You want sneakers? Oh, pop culture.
Pop culture, yeah. So this can range anything from music to viral videos, stuff going on in America.
All right.
All that.
World Star runs, I think, a lot of part of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And on their Instagram page, they post a lot, which is good. I don't know. But I saw this one post. It was originally a Twitter post.
Yeah.
By some news place or whatever, but it was reposted on Instagram. So basically, this is more of a question.
Sure.
But real happened. This man finds $14,000 on the side of a road.
No.
And he returns the money to set an example.
Wow.
First of all, what would you do if you saw $14,000? And what do you think about that guy's decision?
First of all, that guy goes to church. Because, man, what a outstanding citizen is that.
Yeah.
Good for that guy. The thing is if you find $14,000, heck, I would love to buy so many things with that or put it in the bank for college. But at the same time, though, you know how guilty you would feel spending that money? You just found it, and you're like, this is probably somebody's money, or it was from a bank robbery or something.
Yeah.
But I found it, so I guess it's mine. It's an interesting topic, because I don't think you can just, hey, I found a $100 bill in the road, hand it to somebody, and, like a bank, and be like, put it to good use, right? I feel like you have to return all of it or none of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like swear words. I think some of them are good at sometimes. But to me, it's like you either never say them or you say them all the time, because to me, there's no in between. With this, I don't feel like there's any in between. By the way, I don't advocate swearing. I'm a non-swearing guy, but that wasn't necessarily the best analogy, but I gave my best shot, right? Okay, let's answer the question. If I find $14,000, I would hate for the cops to show up at my door. Did you find $14,000? I think I would have to turn it in. But I think I would have regret for the rest of my life thinking what I could have done with $14,000. I mean, heck, that would get me out of so many financial struggles in the future if I put that in the bank. Yeah, what would you do with it?
I think it's that lame example of an angel on one shoulder, devil on the other.
Oh, absolutely.
I think so many things would be flowing through your mind if you find. First of all, I mean, how do you find $14,000 on the side? Like,
right?
How? Who
was it packed individually? Was it rubber band or was it in like a briefcase?
Yeah.
My goodness.
I would be scared of where that $14,000 came from.
Do you carry around $14,000 in your wallet?
If I had $14,000, I would say all of it would be in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how this happened.
So I don't know where that money came from. I think I would turn it in, but I would be selfish in the fact that, like, I would turn it in, but before I turned it in, I'd be like, hey, News Channel 5, check this out. I'm gonna go turn it in. Or
famous.
Be the hero or whatever. I do agree that, I'd be guilty.
Yeah.
I'd be beating myself up both ways.
Absolutely.
Because it's not your money. I'm sure that person worked hard for that $14,000.
Yeah. I found a $20 bill at Cedar Point.
Dude, that's also, I mean,
and it's like, but I gave it to the guy that was like operating the ride, because I'm like,
that's also hard because, like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
If I found $5 on the side of the road, I'd pick it up and take it.
I would keep it.
I would keep it. $10. $20? Yeah, I would still keep it. A $50 bill? Okay, depends where I am.
Where do you see $50 bills?
Exactly, but, like...
I know what you're saying.
Okay, $100 bill depends on where I am. Like, if I'm just on the road, okay, but who do I turn it in to?
Right.
I would keep it. It sucks you drop a $100 bill, but I mean, I'd take it up. Now, once it hits, $1,000, $14,000, I think it's
you might have the cops on your trail.
I feel like it'd have to be set up. It's too good to be true.
Right, like there's a guy with like a it's attached to like a fishing pole, and he lures you to under a rock, and but I have to ask something because we're doing pretty good on time here.
We are.
hypotheticals, right?
Uh-huh.
If you kept the money, let's just say that money was hard earned and you did keep it,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do with it? And you can't say put it in the bank. You'd have to lay it out
If
for
I
me.
kept the money.
Yep, you can't put it in the bank. You have to spend it on something.
If I had to spend it on something.
It can be multiple things,
Uh,
or it can be $1,000 thing.
that's a good question.
I think so.
I would actually like to invest part of it. I don't know.
That's actually smart. See, I didn't even think of that. My mind went completely to like dream vacation.
Yeah, I mean,
But at the same time, would I want to take a vacation with it? Would I rather put that towards a card that I would use
depends
every
on
day?
what. If I got it now, I'm a little younger still in high school.
Yeah.
It's hard. As much as I would say, oh, I'll put it to my college, it doesn't even pay off a year of college. As sad as that
Unless
is,
you got
that's
some killer scholarships.
unless I mean that's sad. Like to go to
Yeah.
higher education and
Yeah.
that won't even make a dent. It depending on where you go.
And then heck,
Obviously.
if you take out student loans, then you got to pay those back. It's
And you can't
They
put it in
get
the
you.
bank.
Bernie Sanders was onto something.
Yeah, and I
Just
could,
kidding.
I could even talk about that too, but
Yeah.
political stuff. But I don't know. It's just hard. I wouldn't want to buy a lot of things.
Yeah. It
And
has
I
to
don't
be
want to buy
something-
one big thing. I don't know. It's a good question. What would you do?
Yeah, it's like for me, you and I are alike in many ways, and we're also not alike in many ways. But I feel like in this situation, we're very alike. We don't really want to spend it. We're the responsible people that we would want to put it in the bank. I don't think there's any other
I
option
would put it
for
in
us.
the bank. Yeah.
But if I had to, you said investing. I have a side business where I'm able to flip stuff for a greater price. What if I was able to get like 3 years worth of stuff to invest in and then to flip it for a better price? Then that money that I make back could go in the bank.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's something to think about, that's for sure. But yeah. But yeah, so when we're before we close our episode 3, we always like to hit you guys up with a quote that means something to us, and Al picked out a pretty good one right here. So do you wanna let us know what that one is?
Alright, this one's short, and I have no idea. It's a little Pinterest quote, but like I said, you can just like most quotes, you can interpret it any way you want. But here's the quote: "Stars can't shine without darkness." And I'll say that again.
I like it.
Stars can't shine without darkness. So I have ways I interpret it, but that's up to you.
Yeah.
I think there's not many ways you could interpret it, but
And that's the best thing about quotes. But 'cause everybody applies it to their day-to-day life, how they want. But hey everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to get your support. Heck, if we have any.
yeah.
But really, this is just something fun for Al and I to do, and it would be cool to include some of you guys on this journey with us. But yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode. We're already working hard on episode 4, and we'll
See ya.
we'll see ya.